that's why we have these, that's why
Right,
we
but
have
that's
this
what I'm
planning
saying
and zoning looking at, I mean,
But you guys were determining as far as a business, a building permit.
we need
Based on that variance.
to do what's best for them.
Right, yeah, I'm saying that's what.
I'm just
But
not
to hold them
comfortable with
off, I
saying,
guess I just-
at the meeting, let's just do it coming off Park Street instead. Just tell them to do that instead.
Well, that's not fair to them, is what I'm thinking. Saying is their plan is, say you're not comfortable making a decision, but they're also in a time crunch as far as I'm understanding, as far as getting the buildings in.
Well, we do want to get that building moved before
Street
the
job.
street starts going, you know?
Right.
And we're going into June now.
See, I don't
It
think
doesn't-
this should hold up the moving of it. We're just talking about access to the alleyway or Park Street. I don't think this should hold up the plan at all. My opinion.
As far as moving the house, just to where your access is gonna happen.
Well, it does because, I mean, we may want to redesign the whole, you know, face the house a different direction. If this is, you know, we gotta know how it's gonna be before we dig the basement.
Yeah.
It could be totally redone if we, you know, this doesn't work.
Or
I-
we
I'd
could
say I
decide to
haven't-
push it back 10 and just do it what we
I haven't
wanna
thought
do.
about this for more than, you know, a couple hours. And another thing I was just thinking is like, you know, anybody else that they can take and put a driveway in or whatever without even going in front of zoning. And we didn't consider this to be even an issue. We wanted to get the variance, but I don't understand where the driveway's, you know, tied in with it.
And aren't alleys used in that portion of the city for off-road parking? Isn't that for ease to get to the back of your house? Instead of trying to get onto a road?
Yeah,
I mean,
we'd be, you know, it would be another parking spot where the driveway on Park Street would go out, so you just eliminated one more parking spot. And that's what we've been told we had to do, is have off-street parking.
4.5 lots.
So it was,
It kind of seems like, to me, like we're asked to jump through more hoops just because we're wanting the 10-foot variance that we would not have to have without the 10-foot variance.
if we didn't need off-street parking like where we're at, we don't. I mean, this wouldn't be an issue.
Well, even if we moved back 10 feet, it wouldn't be an issue.
No.
We could go right straight to the alley. There's nothing restricting us from that.
Go ahead, Chris.
I guess I see this as a compromise. Instead of just being against them, it's a compromise for the neighborhood. It was voiced pretty clearly that this was not in the best interest of the neighbors. So I view this situation as a compromise. As far as stopping this, we're talking about making a change, I believe. I don't want to put words in your mouth. We're talking about making a change to that driveway. That's different than what is on record for the plan. So if that's going to be changed, I would like that changed before they vote. I'm not in here to try to stop it. What is being proposed here, I don't think is going to work, and I think the landowners agree with that, and there's going to have to be change. I'd like that change to be in place before a vote is taken. And I'm done. I'm not going to say more. I've spoken now in 15 minutes already.
Recommendation, Steve? Steve, what do you think?
I don't know, it's a tough issue. The character of the neighborhood certainly is you come off the alley into a
Right.
garage. That's the character of the neighborhood. This whole thing
That's
about,
that's what makes me wonder what the big objection is about. I mean, everybody else along there gets the access from there.
but
and
everybody
everybody's
else's
not with
garage
us.
is right up against the alley.
Right.
This, you're coming in quite a ways.
Mhm.
So it is different. And they're moving this structure onto the lot. To say that we shouldn't discuss this, I think, eliminates your opportunity to plan for the community. We've seen what's happened in the past, we just ram a decision through. And we look back and say, boy, probably should have done that a little differently. We didn't take the time to do that. is another 2 weeks gonna, you have a recommendation from the planning commission. Council can certainly go with that, or you could say it'd take more time, or you can say we're gonna go with what their plan shows as they wish to modify it and move it off of that shed that's back there now, that garage.
The recommendation was to grant the variance for the front on Maple Street.
And access the property.
And then a second recommendation was, to access from Park Street, and I asked specifically, do you mean only Park Street or Park Street and the alley? And they said, only Park Street. So you could go with that and agree with that they have to go out to Park Street. You could amend it to say, have it open at both ends, you know, or you could, you know, whatever.
We don't want to turn that into a thoroughfare.
Well, that's
No.
another
No.
problem that you could have, yeah.
Personally, I think that, and I certainly respect the planning commission and their work and their discussion, and they, you know, I'm probably dealing with only part of the information, which makes it difficult to be comfortable about a decision.
Strictly speaking, I'd rather they came off the alley.
That's my personal planning perspective
That's-
also.
That's the way I see it.
Because Park Street is a busy street, and it does have to cross a sidewalk, and, you know, and other reasons, and then historical use of an alleyway is to access the back end of the property rather than, and you have access, or you have property that abuts the alleyway, so you should be able to use it, I think. In a, you know,
And everybody else in that neighborhood has
Yeah.
use of that alley.
right, in the same fashion.
Go ahead, Chris.
Can I show you, Vern, an alternative or no?
But Chris, your
There's also-
drawing wasn't correct though, footage-wise,
No,
right? You
checked that
changed
and
it?
is- No?
Oh, okay.
I think that's part of the problem, is we're not necessarily looking at everything and understanding the exact nature, but the initial request for variance was to make the fronts line up better with the. Correct.
So I believe the hope of the neighborhood is the alternative option. From what I gathered from this afternoon's discussion, they talked about sliding that alley away from the garage a little bit, or making it at an angle so the blind spot of the garage.
These are the options that they were looking at.
Again, they're options that were just discussed. All the other homes in that neighborhood, I realize it's zoned R3, all the other homes in that neighborhood right now are single-family homes, so this would be the first triplex, or I guess is what it is. But it is zoned R3, whatever the rest
Well,
of
this is an existing alley.
This house right
Across the bar. On this street area.
Yeah.
The only difference is that three garages here instead of one.
Probably granted the variance.
Three garages instead of one.
Because, yeah, our owners.
If it was a single-family home with a garage, I would hope that they turn them like everybody else's. You know, match but it's not. Obviously, I think the garages are a good idea. I think that's gonna be very nice for those residents.
One of the other reasons why the structure is sitting on the parcel that way is because sewer and water is in Maple Street. So that's the most logical, sensible place for them to get their utilities is right off of Maple Street. That's why it's sitting that way on the lot.
The utilities going in front of the house?